Mick, you're standing for Police Commissioner. Why are you standing?
Well, I think in terms of the elections in November, this could be the biggest change in policing in the last probably 100 years. And what is significant about it is, for the first time ever, the public of Essex, the people of Essex, the people of Thurrock have got a real chance to make a difference, and their voices to be heard at the centre of policing, to tell the police exactly how they want the police to deploy, exactly what they want the police to be dealing with, exactly what the priorities are for police. That's never happened before. Previously, it's been central government, Whitehall and Westminster, that's driven police performance. We want to change that, and the elections on the 15th of November gives the people of Essex, gives the people of Thurrock a real chance to say exactly how they want the police to operate. And that's why I think it's so important that everybody takes that chance, everybody goes out, everybody decides who they want to vote for, but primarily they do go out and vote because it's exceptionally important.
What is it you think the people do want?
Well, I think it's very simple, and that's my view. I am going around talking to everybody at the moment, but I think they want the police to attend, and they want them to get, when they call the police, they want them to turn up. When they turn up, they want them to actually deal with the issue, the problem they've got, so they don't get the problem again. They want support if they're a victim of crime. They want the police and the criminal justice system to support them. It does have a huge impact, but I'm not sure that people really believe that the police and the criminal justice system supports the victims. So I think all those things, I think the public don't want to be the victim of crime, so they want less crime. They don't want to be plagued by antisocial behaviour, and they want the police to turn up. I think that's a fairly simple concept to get a grip of. But unfortunately, we've overcomplicated it with huge numbers of performance indicators, which the public do not understand.
You talk about overcomplicated, at some time the police seem to change from a force to a service. Now, people over in Thurrock have spoken to me of various different organisations, said the police keep turning up when they report crime, and then say to them, what would you like us to do about this? That's as if they're more or less saying, do you really want to report this? That's a strange, if that is true, that's a strange thing for the police now to be saying, isn't it?
Well, say it right, because what you're saying is that they try and cuff jobs, or they try and manipulate the job to get the performance indicator that they want. There's a difference between not doing their job properly and not responding to the public, and there's also a difference between using proper discretion. At times, I do think using proper discretion is what the public wants. If you've got an elderly lady who happens, for the first time ever in 80 years, to have committed a very small crime, yes, we need to deal with it, but do we need to drag her through the criminal justice system? We don't. We need to give her support, we need to make sure she doesn't do it again, and she gets the support of the local authorities, social service, whatever. That, to me, is not cuffing the job. If they're trying to do it to manipulate the figures and not deal with a crime properly, then it is wrong. But the people of Essex will determine what those performance indicators will be, and it'll be the job of the Police Crime Commissioner to hold the police to account and make sure that is being done.
But not make the police the whipping boy, because do you not feel that, say, in Essex, on too many occasions, the police are doing their job, but then they'll put the report to the CPS, and the CPS will perhaps allegedly say, well, we have an 80% threshold criteria, and so what the police think is a, inverted commas, bang to rights report ends up not going to court. And that's not, so what influence, what role can a police commissioner, if it's yourself, what role can you have in addressing those type of grievances?
That's an important question, but when you look at the title, it says Police Crime Commissioner. The crime bit is around the criminal justice system. The crime bit is around community safety. I don't think the public care, at the end of the day, who's got it wrong. What they care about is the police, the CPS, the Magistrates Court, the Crown Court, probation work together, and the local authorities to make sure they deal with the problems, the victims, they support the victims, they deal with the crimes, they deal with the issues together as a partnership. And I think it's the job of the Police Crime Commissioner not just to hold the police to account, but actually make sure the whole of that criminal justice system works to support victims.
You're in the job for a long time. How did the job change in your times? And was there anything from, say, when you started as probationer that you think we lost, we lost that and we should bring it back?
Well, I don't think policing's changed since 1829, since Robert Peel set up a very civilianised model of policing. There are very simple things that the public want, and I think we've overcomplicated it. But I think, and I go back to it, I'm not beating politicians for the sake of beating politicians. I don't believe politics should be involved in this particular process. But I think you need to take that out of it. But I think we need to redefine what the police need to do. Get back to the simple basis of what policing is about, which is responding to the public, preventing crime, reducing crime, and dealing with people that are committing crime. I think if we can simplify the message from the people to the police, and then hold them to account for delivering it, we can get back to the basis where I started many, many years ago, where it wasn't performance indicators driving what I did. My motivation was trying to serve the public, and we want to get back to that. I mean, I worked in Thurrock for quite a few years, in Tilbury, Ockenden and Grays, and you know, I think generally we got it right. We will make mistakes, and we need to just put our hands up and deal with that. But what the public want is not complicated. It's not complex, and we've overcomplicated it. So let's get back to basics.
On Thursday, a lot of there was demonstrations up in Westminster, and you were there. What was the feeling on the street there? And also, do you think you should have been there?
Oh, it's an interesting question. A lot of people said I shouldn't have been there. I am speaking to absolutely everybody at the moment. You know, going around, talking to the press, talking to Rotary clubs, over 60s clubs, talking to the associations within the police, the Superintendent Association, Unison. I'm speaking to anybody, and I want to actually speak to the bobbies. And I thought it was a great opportunity to go up there, you know, spend the day with them, listen to what the frustrations are, try and work out what needs to be done. And it was positive, because what I find is what they want is clear direction. What do you want us to do? What does the public want us to deliver? Once the public have sent that message, we need the leadership to actually ensure they're doing what they want to do, what they need to do, and what the public want them to do. So once they've got that clarity, they've got the leadership, then that's all they want. I think there's a frustration at the moment. They're not 100% sure. They're driven by performance indicators that they don't truly believe in. They want that to change significantly. Yes, there's been a huge attack on their terms and conditions. And yes, pay and money will always play a part. But I ultimately think it's not that that's causing the frustration. I do think it's a lack of clarity, lack of leadership, and a lack of focus. And they want to get back to what they joined the job to do, which is supporting the public of Essex, you know, policing Essex in the way they should be doing, and dealing with the people that are on the wrong side of the law. And I think if we can refocus them and give them the leadership to do that again, then you know they'll be very, very happy, and morale will increase, morale will improve. They understand totally that the economics of the situation at the moment is not going to bypass them. It will hit them in whatever ways, but they want to be you know, spoken to, consulted, they want to be part of that negotiation, and they want to be part of the solution. And they're being bypassed at the moment. So huge frustration, but I do think the actual Police Crime Commissioner can actually give them the leadership, give them the clarity, give them the focus that they need, and get them back on track.
Recorded crime and statistics. According to some people are celebrating recorded crime is down. Some politicians are celebrating recorded crime in Essex in areas down. But a lot of people just don't buy that, and they feel that the statistical returns in Essex, for example, are not fit for purpose. Is that something you'd want to address? Without
a shadow of a doubt. It's madness, isn't it? I mean, the general public, if you talked about terms like sanction detections, they would not have a clue. What they're interested in is that if they're the victim of crime, they're supported properly, that we do all we possibly can to find the perpetrator of their crime, and that when they need to go through the criminal justice system, you know, they understand what they're doing, what's happening, and that at the end of the day, the judgment of the court reflects the nature of that crime, and also, as I said, takes into consideration that they're the victim. And I think if you get that right, then the public will be supportive. They don't feel that at the moment. I don't think the police feel it truly. If I can give you an example, because the statistics are interesting. If you wanted to, and you do want to, get females to report domestic violence, you actually want to know what's going on the streets or in the houses or wherever it's going on. So you want to encourage that. But every time someone reports an offence of domestic violence, that's a crime on the books. You know, does it drive us to actually encourage people to report that crime? But then that goes in the same pot as somebody that's been hit over the head with a bottle or had their car stolen. I'm not sure that needs to happen. I think the other issue is around public order. You know, when you've got antisocial behaviour, you've got troubles in the town centres, Friday and Saturday night. When the police are proactive and you arrest someone, that creates crime. Well, do the public understand that logic? So I think we've got the whole lot wrong at the moment. I think that has been driven by central government, Whitehall and Westminster. We need to sit down with the public of Essex and the people of Thurrock and say to them, how do you want to judge the police? And come up with 5 or 6 simple indicators that then will drive the plan, then will drive activity, and that we can then be held to account for through the good office of yourself and other press, but ultimately through the people of Essex and the people of Thurrock.
Why independent? Why haven't you attached yourself to a political party?
Well, I don't want my decisions being driven by some philosophy, manifesto or policy. I want the needs of the people of Essex to drive what I do and impact on my decision making. I want the people to tell me what I need to be doing, not Whitehall. I want to be looking to the people of Essex, not looking up to Whitehall or Westminster. And I feel that independence. I can stand up and be truly independent. And at the end of the day, there will be criticism. I will be doing things that the police don't like. I will be doing things that the Federation don't like. And I will be doing some things that perhaps the public won't like. But at least I can stand up and explain to them why I've made the decision I need to make. And that is not driven by any other ideology, apart from my burning passion to make Essex the safest place in the country.
Mick, thank you very much.
Thank you.